Sweet Home, also known as the Mamiya House, is a 1989 Japanese horror movie directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. It was released alongside a video game with the same name, which was cited as a direct inspiration for the Resident Evil series of video games by Capcom that came out just after this. So, thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit today. We're going to talk about Sweet Home from 1989. Just watched the movie. I've got it on I guess it's like I bought it online, but I think it's a bootleg DVD. But whatever, man, it looks nice. The DVD looks fine on my screen, so I'm not really worried about it. Otherwise, like I was a little surprised to be honest, but dude, it's a really hard to find movie, so uh, it's nice to be able to watch it. Otherwise, it wasn't streaming anywhere or anything, so it's kind of hard to find. But if anybody has a link to where I can buy like an actual copy of this, because I'd love to have a real copy of it, that'd be dope too. So this is the synopsis of the film. A small film crew visits the old abandoned mansion of famous artist Ichiro Mamiya, who left several precious frescoes inside of his house. The team wants to restore and publish the paintings and then film a documentary about Mamiya and his art. After they enter the mansion, paranormal events betray the presence of a poltergeist. Soon, Asuka is possessed by the infuriated ghost of Lady Mamiya, Ichiro's wife. The team discovers a makeshift grave where a toddler is buried. The boy is Ichiro and Lady Mamiya's son, who fell into the house's incinerator one day and was unfortunately burned alive. Since then, Lady Mamiya's ghost haunts the mansion, killing anybody that comes inside. So it's a pretty standard ghost story, right? I had to watch the movie twice to really get into it. That being said, I do like it more than I initially thought I did. I'm glad I waited to review this because my review would have been pretty bad had I not. One thing that I did write down about it though is that the movie is like a blend of 13 Ghosts, Disney's Haunted Mansion, and then it's kind of kooky, but it's got a reasonable amount of scary in it, right? So I mean, it's a good movie. My personal favorite style of CG is in this movie. It reminds me of things like Star Wars, Masters of the Universe, Big Trouble in Little China, stuff like that. It's an aesthetic that I really like, and I wish that modern movies would adopt some of it instead of trying to look so realistic and failing often. They do that a lot. These modern movies, they try to look uber real, and then either they're dated in like a year or it just fails altogether. And with the style of CG that a movie like this brings to the table, it's like the lightning with a little bit of it almost looks like a LED light kind of, not an LED light, like a neon light kind of. You know what I'm talking about? It's I really enjoy that kind of CG. It's something that if modern filmmakers would intentionally do it, I think it would make a pretty relevant comeback, and I think it could make movies a little more fun. I don't know. I really hate bad CG, and this is my favorite style of CG. So if anybody's seen this movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But the first 20 minutes or so they're really slow in this movie, and the music's kind of weird, and it's a little upbeat, and it feels a little Disney for me, right? And then all of a sudden, it takes a pretty sharp turn into ghost story territory, and you get some scares, you get frightening events happening, you get people being terrorized, you get actual poltergeists, lightning, and supernatural things happening in this house. I end up really liking this movie quite a bit. I do like the way that Asian cinema abruptly ends their movies. I like it so much because a lot of the stuff over here in the West, they'll wrap the story up and then give you like a prologue almost. I don't want a prologue. Just end the movie. The length of the film is 100 minutes. That's really a great length for a movie like this. Any more than that, you begin to have a lot of filler or just dialogue that's unnecessary or scenes that are just too long and could have been trimmed down a little bit. I believe on Letterboxd, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, which would be a 6 out of 10. On my videos, I like to do a 1 through 10 scale. I think it's more like a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe a 7, not really. I think I'm gonna stick with a 6.5 out of 10 on this one. And I don't know. A 5 is an average movie to me, so I believe this is above average. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. I'd love to hear your input on this or information you might have on it. I think it's cool that it inspired Resident Evil because I think it's neat that we have movie released alongside a video game which inspired another video game, which then turned into another classic horror movie series, right? A classic, I don't know, Resident Evil to me at this point came out when I was younger. It's a modern day classic, kind of, I guess. I don't know if you should call that one a classic, but you know what I mean, though. A pretty relevant series. I think 6.5 out of 10 is a pretty fair score for this movie. If anybody's seen Sweet Home or played the video game, let me know. I might do some kind of video on the game. That would be kind of neat. So, but thanks for hanging out with me and listening to me talk about Sweet Home. If you haven't seen this movie and you get an opportunity to check it out, I'd love for you to do so and talk about it with me in the comments. Japanese horror movies are pretty fun. Korean stuff I really enjoy. So I love Asian cinema. And if you have any recommendations, let me know. I'm going to be reviewing Junk, Devil Fetus, and The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires real soon. So if you like any of these, let me know, and we'll be talking about them here real soon. Otherwise, just thanks for hanging out. I appreciate your time, and I guess I'll catch you on the next Horror Hangout. Peace.